Don't they get Thursdays off to play golf? And
Okay, we're live. Okay, welcome to the Monday, September 12th City Council meeting, City of Eureka Springs, and we're going to call the meeting to order. And we need to establish a roll call, please. Before we do that, I'm Councilman McClung filling in for Mayor Berry, who has other duties tonight. So, roll call, please.
Harry Meyer.
here.
Melissa Green.
Here.
Nick Roberts.
Here.
Bill Hott.
Here.
Adam Slayton.
Here.
Okay, let's the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, do we have to stop the meeting for the public hearing, or do we just go ahead and open up to it? I don't recall.
You just announce it.
We just announced it. Okay, we have a, we're going to begin our public hearing for the vacation 10-foot wide alley, Magnetic Bays Block 1. Is there anyone out in the audience? There's so many people out there. Anyone raising their hand? Please go to the podium.
I believe that you've been provided all the information.
Okay, first, yeah, you need to adjust the mic and give your name
Sorry,
and tell us what your purpose is.
my name is Lila Allison. I represent the buyers of this lot. I'm a real estate agent for Century 21 Woodland Realty here in Eureka Springs. It was my hope to have the alley vacated for the new buyers of this lot.
Did we have this in our packet last week?
All
Yes,
the
we did.
details were in the last
Okay,
packet. Yes.
just briefly remind me where this is. Where is
I
it?
can
When
show
you
you a
turn-
picture of it. I brought the,
When you turn right on Magnetic, if you're coming from
Oh,
downtown.
yeah, I remember.
It's just after the first driveway on the right-hand
Yeah,
side.
I
This couple has purchased 3 adjoining lots. This was the property where Miss Mildred Ames used to have her
Yes.
home, and it was right over where the alley was, so we did not know that there was an alley there. But it came to our attention, and that's why we are asking for the vacation, so that the new owners will be able to build a new home there.
Okay. Anyone else have anything to add? Okay, then we'll close the public hearing, and we'll move on, and I'll ask for approval for the agenda. Before I do, the one thing that is number 3 under unfinished, the discussion of I&I fees. I'm going to put that off till the next meeting, as there's things I want to address to the mayor, and I think he wants to make some explanations. So I think it's important that he's here for that. So that will be put off till the next meeting. Does anyone else have anything? Ms. Green?
I would like to add a discussion of FOIAs and factory resets of city computers.
discussion of FOIAs.
Yes, along with the reset of factory computers.
Reset?
Yes, factory reset of city computers.
I'm not sure what that is, but
Well, I will explain.
is there a second for that?
The agreement was that one council person could add an item. That happened last year, I think.
Okay. So we'll add that to new business. Anyone else have any additions or possible subtraction?
Move to
Okay.
accept the agenda as amended.
Second.
All right, the motion has been made to approve the agenda as amended and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, we need a motion to approve the minutes for August 22nd.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of August 22nd, 2022.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any additions or corrections from anyone? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, moving right along. Nothing on the Planning Commission, CAPC. We still have 2 vacant positions.
Point of inquiry. On the CAPC positions, do we know what that position represents? Is that a hotel, a motel, free?
Either.
Neither?
Either.
Either.
Yeah. They're not restrictive to motel or restaurant. They can be either.
I do believe, Terry, one of them is the at-large one.
Yes, one of them is the at-large. Yes, that's
Okay,
correct.
do we know which one that is?
I don't offhand.
Okay.
Off the top of my head, I don't.
I believe it's position 7.
Okay, thank you.
I just didn't know if that would be helpful for people filling out, their applications for that or not.
Yeah, we're just waiting for the CAPC to approve people for those positions so we can move forward from our
Okay.
point. Okay, let's see, that's the CAPC, hospital is good, parks. If anybody out there wants to get involved with community service, Parks has a vacancy there. Position 3, looks like HDC and cemetery are full and rolling along. So now we come to public comments. We'll open that and limit it to 3 minutes per person, if anyone has signed up.
I don't think everybody saw it.
Oh, wait,
Come, someone.
There's somebody.
we got one.
You have to come up to the microphone, please, and give your name and address.
Okay, my name is Steph Gordon Glassford, and I live at 23 Hill Street. And we've just been informed, our neighborhood over on East Mountain, that a parking lot, a commercial parking lot, is on the agenda for at Planning and Zoning meeting tomorrow. And we're quite upset about it. So we're just trying, I know this isn't really we will be at the meeting tomorrow to, protest, but we just would like to put it out there that, it's not going to go over very well. A commercial parking lot in a District R1 zoning is just not.
Would you
gonna be-
identify the site?
It's the one where the house has been torn down and is falling into the street. It's been that way for a while. 5 Douglas is the address. And so, we would just really like that not to happen. So, we'll be at the meeting tomorrow, but we just thought we'd get it out there. So, there's just no, I think they call it something, RJ's going to talk a little bit about it. He's worked for Parks and Public Works before, so, So thank you.
Hi, my name is James Duke, and I live at 11 Douglas Street, and this is 2 doors down from me. And I never received, and it's on the agenda for tomorrow night, and I never received anything in the mail, no notice or anything. I found out by accident. Somebody was talking about the person that's wants the parking lot in there, and they brought it to my attention. And so, and it's on the agenda, but I just felt like, maybe we should have been notified that it was going to be on the agenda, the neighbors. But nobody was, and very adamantly is against it happening right there in our neighborhood. The problem isn't in our neighborhood, the problem is elsewhere, as we know the parking is rough. But to bring the parking up in the residential area, up on that hill, Little Lake Eureka, up in that area, it just doesn't go well. So, okay, thank you.
Good evening. I'm R.J. Josephine. I live at 60 Steel Street, and I'd like to echo their sentiments that there is no acceptable use of parking in R1 zoning. That's pretty much the end of the discussion. I don't know how it even got to the point that it would be a pointed discussion as a visionary plan for the future of Eureka Springs. Now, I'm sure all of you are familiar with the vision plan that was adopted in 1997, which were just reviewed a couple years back. Well, they talk about, in the vision plan, they talk about establishing more green space, not less green space. Yes, we have a terrible parking problem, but the parking is in C zoning. It's in the commercial area. We've had a problem for 30 years, and I think we've been negligent in dealing with it. And now, if you think the solution is to push the problem into the R1 residential zones, well, you're sadly mistaken, because we're not going to have it. There's no acceptable use, no conditionally acceptable use. There's no way of changing the zonings to allow a surface parking lot in a historic R1 neighborhood. And I invite you all to come by and look at it. And I will tell you also that for the last, I've been coming to this town since 1978. I bought property 2 years ago, and for the past 2 years, I've walked by the house at 5 Douglas every day and watched it demolish itself by neglect. And past is prologue, folks. We know what kind of care has been taken and what kind of feeling that person is projected towards the neighbor, the neighborhood, and the city. For him to be allowed now to be rewarded with a variance to allow commercial parking, for him to make money in perpetuity there, is a slap in the face to the people who live here. It's not an acceptable use, and we're not going to have it. Secondly, the non-enforcement of codes enforcement in this town is appalling. 46 Copper Street, do you know what's going on there? They're trying to cut down, they wanted to cut down a massive dead oak. So the guy brings a boom truck in, I don't know that he has to get a permit for private property, I don't know that. But in order to get his boom truck in there, he cut all the mature redbud trees, all 7 and 8 inch, and left 4-foot stumps. They used to shade the entire street. Now it's a wasteland. He gets his boom truck in there and it won't reach the tree. So what? He's ruined all the trees at 46 Copper and walks away like, ha, 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 can't get it done, too bad. So I want to know, where's the punishment for this? This man should be, the town of 500,000 people where I worked would.
Sir, your time is up. I'm sorry.
Okay, if you did this anywhere else, you'd be fined out of existence, and somebody needs to be responsible for replanting those trees.
Are there any others? Okay, that will close the public comments, and we'll go on to unfinished business. Would somebody start us off with number 1, please?
I'd like to make a motion to address the ordinance 2327. Read it for its third reading.
Second.
Okay, so that opened it for discussion. Now, are you wanting to go ahead and make a motion?
I'd like to make a motion
to suspend the rules?
To read it, suspend the rules and read it for its third reading by title only.
Okay,
Sorry.
that's all right. Is there a second for that motion?
Second.
Okay,
Who was the second, please?
I'll let Bill have it.
okay, so we have a motion and a second to read ordinance number 2327 by title only. Is there any other further discussion? Okay,
Ms. Green?
Yes.
Mr. Ott?
Yes.
Mr. Myers?
Yes.
Ms. Slane?
Yes.
Mr. Roberts?
Yes.
5-0. The ordinance, let's see, ordinance 2327, an ordinance levying a tax on all real and personal property in the city of Eureka Springs, Arkansas.
okay, we need a motion now to approve.
Move to approve.
Second.
There we go. We have a motion and a second to approve ordinance 2327 on its third and final reading. Any discussion? Okay, we'll take a vote. Is that also a roll call, or is it?
It is.
Okay.
Ms. Slane?
Yes.
Mr. Roberts?
Yes.
Mr. Meyer?
Yes.
Mr. Ott?
Yes.
Ms. Green?
Yes.
5-0.
Okay, we don't have anything regarding an emergency clause, so that passes, and 30 days will fall in line. Okay, we're going to item number 2, ordinance for utility easement leases in Freeman, Block 23 and 24. Would somebody like to make a motion to discuss?
Motion to discuss the ordinance for
Second.
utility easement leases in Freeman Blocks 23 and 24.
Okay, and Mr. Meyer seconded that.
Second.
Okay, any comments?
Do you recall the paperwork that you saw at the last meeting that described?
Yes.
Okay.
And we do have the ordinance in our package. So if there's not any discussion regarding it, does someone like to make a motion that we,
Move to accept.
no, we need a motion to approve it on its first reading.
Oh,
To
move
read.
to,
Read it and approve it on its,
move
to read
to,
it for its first reading. Let's,
I so move. Thank you, Terry.
yes, sir. We need a
Could
second
you
for
make
that.
the motion, please?
I'll second that.
All right, yeah. Mr. Ott made a motion that we
Assign a number.
assign the number and read the ordinance for the utility easement in Freeman Edition.
And who seconded?
I did. Slane.
Autumn,
Thank you.
Ms. Lane.
Ordinance number will be 2328, an ordinance to renew leases at 35 Kings Highway. Whereas the city of Eureka Springs has 3 properties adjacent to 35 Kings Highway, and whereas the owners of 35 Kings Highway, namely Richard and Sherry Rojek, have requested a lease for 99 years subject to all easements based upon prior leases as stated below. Now therefore be it hereby ordained by the City Council of the City of Eureka Springs. Section 1, the City of Eureka Springs hereby leases based upon the following described documents to Richard and Sherry Rojek for a term of 99 years. 1, a 99-year lease executed by the City of Eureka Springs to John H. Dickens, dated October 28, 1910, filed for record November 1, 1910, and deed record book 28 at page 466. 2, a 99-year lease executed by the City of Eureka Springs to Eugene T. Lucky, dated May 24, 1907, filed for record July 8, 1907, in deed record book V at page 605. 3, a 50-year agreement of lease executed by the City of Eureka Springs to Martha E. Shutterly, dated January 27th, filed for record February 3rd, 1966, in Mortgage Record Book 3 at page 426.
Okay, the ordinance has been read as required. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to approve ordinance 2328 on its first reading.
Okay.
Second.
Yeah. And we have a motion and a second by Mr. Ott. Counselor, can I ask a question?
Sure.
Is there nothing to make reference to any kind of consideration? Because there's not any. Is it not necessary? Apparently, they're not.
No,
There's no consideration involved.
no,
Okay,
we've never discussed it. We can do it without consideration.
okay. Does everybody understand that? Okay. Let's proceed. Does anyone else have any comments as far as the motion made to approve first reading?
Voice is okay.
Pardon me?
A verbal vote is okay.
Okay. So all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion passes. Do we want to go for a second one, or do we want to move on?
I'll make a motion that we read ordinance number 2328, suspend the rules by title, and read by title only for its second reading.
A second.
Mr. Meyer seconded. Any discussion? I'm not hearing any, so we need to take the vote.
Mr. Meyer?
Yes.
Ms. Green?
Yes.
Ms. Lane?
Yes.
Mr. Ott?
Aye.
Mr. Roberts?
Yes.
5-0. Ordinance 2328, an ordinance to renew leases at 35 Kings Highway.
Mr. McClung, I make a motion that we approve ordinance 2328 on its second reading.
Second.
Mr. Ott seconds. Any discussion?
Voice is okay?
Pardon me?
Of,
A voice vote is okay?
Yes.
All right. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes second reading.
Mr. McClung, may I make a motion to suspend the rules and read ordinance number 2328 on its third and final reading
By title only.
by title only?
I'll second that.
Mr. Roberts seconds. Any discussion? Okay, not hearing any. We need a roll call vote for this one.
Yes, sir. Ms. Green?
Yes.
Ms. Lane?
Yes.
Mr. Ott?
Aye.
Mr. Roberts?
Yes.
Mr. Meyer?
Yes.
5-0.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve ordinance
He
20...
needs to read it first.
Oh,
Thank you. Ordinance number 2328, an ordinance to renew leases at 35 Kings Highway.
okay. Now I'll make a motion that we approve ordinance number 2328 on its third and final reading.
Second.
Mr. Ott seconds. Any discussion? Hearing none, this will be a vote by roll call as well.
Yes, sir. Ms. Lane?
Yes.
Mr. Ott?
Aye.
Ms. Green?
Yes.
Mr. Roberts?
Yes.
Mr. Meyer?
Yes.
5-0.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, I is off, so now we've got an ordinance to vacate alley in Magnetic Bay, Block 1. Would somebody like to make a motion to discuss?
I'll make a motion to discuss.
Second? Anyone?
Second.
Okay. Second by Ms. Green, okay. Let's hear it.
Motion to assign a number?
I'll make a motion that we assign the ordinance a number and read into passage on its first reading.
I'll second that.
Okay, a motion has been made to read for its first reading. Is there any discussion? Voice vote for this one?
Correct.
All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
The ordinance number is 2329, an ordinance vacating an alley in Block 1 of the Magnetic Bay Survey. Whereas the City Council of Eureka Springs, Arkansas has reviewed the petition of the adjoining landowner to vacate the area defined by the following legal description. All of the alley lying west of Block 9, Lot 9, Block 1 of the Bays or Magnetic 40 Survey of the City of Eureka Springs, Arkansas, and being more particularly described as follows. Commencing at the northwest corner of said Lot 9 for the point of beginning, thence south 1 degree, 48 minutes, 40 seconds west, 123.53 feet, thence north 88 degrees, 15 feet, 49 minutes west, 10.12 feet, thence north 1 degree, 48 minutes, 33 seconds. Okay, I should have
It's all right, you're
noted.
You're
Thank
good.
you. East, 30.03 feet, thence north 2 degrees, 29 minutes, 20 seconds east for 10.04 feet, thence north 1 degree, 48 minutes, 40 seconds east, 88.06 feet, then south 63 degrees, 35 feet, and 0 degrees east for 11 feet to the point of beginning. And whereas Section 1454-1042 of the Arkansas Code annotated allows the city council to vacate certain streets. Now therefore be it ordained by the city council of the city of Eureka Springs, Arkansas, that Section 1, the alley described above is hereby vacated and title is hereby vested in fee simple to the adjoining landowner. All ordinances and parts of ordinances, Section 2, all ordinances and parts of ordinances in conflict with this ordinance are hereby repealed to the extent of such conflict. Section 3, that in the event that any section, paragraph, subdivision, clause, phrase, or other provision or portion of this ordinance shall be adjudged invalid or unconstitutional, the same shall not affect the validity of this ordinance, code, code section, or chapter as a whole, or any part or provision other than the part so decided to be invalid or unconstitutional, and the remaining provisions of this ordinance, code, code section, or chapter shall remain in effect.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. And any discrepancies made by her in reading that we know that where she accidentally said foot or feet instead of minutes, why we know what that is intended to be, and there's no problems with that. We got it.
Thanks. I should have a little go-by. I usually do, but
It's fine. We're good. Okay, thank you for reading that again. And does someone want to
I'll
make
make a motion, we approve.
Okay, we get a second.
Second.
Mr. Ott seconds. So we have a motion to approve ordinance 2329 on its first reading. Is there any discussion?
No.
Okay, we got a voice vote here, so all in favor signify by saying so.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that passes.
I'd like to make a motion to suspend the rules and read ordinance 2329 on its second reading by title only.
Do we have a
Second that.
Mr.
Robert?
Roberts, seconded. So, any discussion? Okay, we need a roll call vote on this.
Yes, sir. Mr. Ott?
Aye.
Ms. Lane?
Yes.
Ms. Green?
Yes.
Mr. Roberts?
Yes.
Mr. Meyer?
Yes.
5-0. Ordinance 2329, an ordinance vacating an alley in Block 1 of the Magnetic Bay Survey.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve ordinance number 2329 on its second reading.
Second.
Okay, Mr. Ott seconded. Any discussion? Not hearing of any, we'll take the vote. It's a voice vote, so all in favor, please signify by saying so.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Okay, we can,
Move to, Mr. Mayor, approve to suspend the rules and put the ordinance 2329 on its final reading by title only.
Second.
okay, we have a motion to approve 2329 on its third reading by title only. Is there any discussion?
Didn't you move to suspend the rules,
Yes, he
Yes.
did.
Yeah, he did.
Yes, he did.
but not to approve?
Yes. No, we have to make the ordinance to read it first by title only.
Okay.
That's what he just did.
All right, I thought I misunderstood you.
No, yeah.
Mr. Roberts?
Yes.
Ms. Green?
Yes.
Mr. Meyer?
Yes.
Ms. Lane?
Yes.
And Mr. Ott?
Aye.
5-0. Ordinance number 2329, an ordinance vacating an alley in Block 1 of the Magnetic Bay Survey.
Yes, Mr. Ott.
Move to accept ordinance 2329
On its third reading?
Yes, on its third reading.
on its final and third reading, yes.
Second.
Ms. Green seconds. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none, we'll go ahead with the vote, and it is a roll call.
It is. Mr. Meyer?
Yes.
Ms. Green?
Yes.
Mr. Roberts?
Yes.
Ms. Lane?
Yes.
And Mr. Ott?
Aye.
5-0. Thank you.
Moving right along. Next on the agenda is acceptance of a bid for the TAP grant for the sidewalk from Plainer Hill to Nelson's Chapel. Can we get a motion to discuss, please?
Make a motion to discuss.
Second.
And Mr. Ott, seconded. Before we get into it, if I can, and I think I can, I'd like to have our finance administrator up to the podium, if he would. I've got a question on it. In reading through this, I really don't understand exactly what they're saying in this McClellan Engineering cover that we got here. It talks about the amount of, total amount being $513,000, but then a reduction to $418,700. But then it also goes on to say that we only are approved for $329,000, of which we pay $66,000. So what are they really saying? I could not get a clear picture of that.
I'm going to ask Dwayne, because
Oh, okay. Very good.
Dwayne is more on this one.
Okay.
Yeah, we rebid this and pulled it in, and originally we thought,
Dwayne, we need to hear you a little better, can you?
okay, yes, we rebid this once, and we thought maybe these bids were coming in high, and we had relooked at this and compared them to the, average of what's out there, what pricing is on the sidewalks right now. And what we decided to accept this bid, but we're going to take the deductible, not the full 500, but what we want to do is accept the 418,756, and that will allow us to negotiate with the low bidder, because we're looking at 20% of this TAP grant, so we're going to pull this back down to 329,655. Pull the scope of this project back into that original amount TAP grant. That will allow us to finish this all the way to the community center, but we've got a crest in for next year, and we assume we'll be awarded where we can finish it. But this will allow the worst part of this wall there by Nothing Fancy, by Nelson Funeral, to be completed. So that's what we're proposing to do.
Okay, so if I understand it correctly, this will be a finished sidewalk as far as the funeral home?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
and then we're going to try and get the additional money next year as we can to finish onto the community center.
Yeah, we originally, of course, if this would have, came in, a couple of years ago, we would have been able to do it, obviously. But, that's the situation we're in right now.
Okay, so all we're going to be on the hook for is the $66,000, basically.
Yeah, 65,931.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
then we'll.
Does everyone understand? Understand it? Okay. Any comments from the council?
I love more sidewalks.
Yeah.
What do we need to do to accept this
Right.
bid? Do we just, we don't have a,
A motion to accept it.
Move to accept this bid as presented.
Second.
Mr. Ott moved to accept, Ms. Green seconded. Any discussion? I just want to make the one comment again, so everyone understands that it will be negotiated down to the $329,655, with the city being on the hook for the $65,931 and a completed sidewalk to Nelson's Funeral Home. Okay.
What budget item is that coming out of? Is that out
It'll
of
come out of the
Dwayne?
general fund. Well,
Or-
no, it's a grant. Most of it,
We'll pull, that 20% of ours will come out of street fund.
street fund?
Yes.
Okay.
So why, it's, only $100,000 more to get it all done. Why can't we allocate more of the budget for that?
Well, they're paying 80%, so we're trying to utilize as much state money as we can, obviously.
I see.
And so we'll roll that into next year, and then they'll pay 80% to finish it out.
Oh, okay.
That's why
I
they
see.
call it a TAP grant. We're going to tap them again next year for the rest of it.
I like
We're
it.
hoping, yes.
Okay,
That's the plan.
okay.
Sounds
Thank
like a
you.
winner.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. No further discussion? All in favor?
Yeah,
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Moving right along. We have, the next item is the ordinance for the city to transfer funds electronically. Can I get a motion to discuss?
I'll make a motion to discuss adding a number to the ordinance.
First, we just need an ordinance to discuss it.
A motion to discuss.
Yeah, I mean, that's what, a motion to discuss.
Motion
I'll
to
second
discuss.
that.
Mr. Myers seconds.
Yes, sir?
Okay, now, if you want to make your motion,
Okay. I'll make a,
Go ahead.
okay. I'll make a motion that we assign the ordinance a number and read it into passage on its first reading.
is,
Second.
okay, Mr. Myers seconds. Any discussion? We all pretty much understand, I hope, what this is. If this will lighten the load on the finance department, but it still is checks and balances on all the departments. They still operate the same way. It just moves the money more quickly.
Sure.
And
It's
efficient.
like we get our pay.
Oh, yeah.
Some
exactly.
people.
Some of them.
Some of us. Okay. So we have the motion and the second. No further discussion. All in favor signify by saying so.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
The ordinance number will be 2330, an ordinance allowing the commissions and departments of the city of Eureka Springs, Arkansas to pay by electronic funds transfer. Whereas the city of Eureka Springs, Arkansas, and the commissions and departments' disbursements of municipal funds are made by pre-numbered checks drawn upon our local bank account, and whereas ACA 1459-105 states the following: distribution of municipal funds made by electronic funds transfer, provided that, 1, the governing body of the municipality shall establish by ordinance an electronic funds payment system directly into payees' accounts in financial institutions in payment of any account allowed against the municipality. 2, for purposes of this subsection, municipalities opting for an electronic funds payment system shall establish written policies and procedures to ensure that the electronic funds payment system provided for internal accounting controls and documentation for audit and accounting purposes. And 3, each electronic funds payment system established under this subsection shall comply with the information systems best practices approved by the Legislative Joint Auditing Committee before implementation by the municipality. Therefore, this ordinance establishes the ability to use electronic fund transfers directly from the corresponding financial institution for the city of Eureka Springs, Arkansas, and the commissions and departments of Eureka Springs, Arkansas, for electronic payments.
Make a motion, we approve ordinance 2330 on its first reading.
Second.
Mr. Ott seconds the motion. Discussion? Not hearing any. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
I'd like to make a motion that we suspend the rules and read ordinance 2330 on its first reading by title only.
Second?
Second reading.
We just did the first.
Second reading.
Oh, I mean the second reading, I'm sorry.
You only missed about one. It's
I
okay.
just by one, yeah. Hey, I should have skipped to 3.
Suspended the rules and by title only.
Yeah, I
Do we
suspended.
have a second?
Yes.
I'll second, if it hasn't been done.
Okay, is there any discussion? Not hearing any, all in, let's see, no, then we got to do a roll call.
Mr. Ott?
Aye.
Mr. McClung? Oh, no. Mr. Roberts?
Yes.
Mr. Meyer?
Yes.
Ms. Lane?
Yes.
Ms. Green?
Yes.
5-0.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to get it right this time.
Un momento.
Okay.
Por favor. Ordinance number 2330, an ordinance allowing the commissions and departments of the city of Eureka Springs, Arkansas to pay by electronic funds transfer.
Okay. I'm going to make a motion that we suspend the rules.
We have to
Oh,
approve.
okay.
It's okay. It's all right.
I'm going to get it right one of these times.
We're all trying to go too fast.
Are you ready to make your motion?
Okay. I'm going to make a motion to approve the second reading of 2330.
Second.
Mr. Ott seconds. Discussion? Hearing none, we can have a voice vote for this one, so all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Well, how about that?
Move to put ordinance number 2330, suspend the rules and put 2330 on its third and final reading by title only.
Second.
Ms. Green seconds. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll have a roll call vote.
Yes, sir? Ms. Lane?
Yes.
Mr. Meyer?
Yes.
Ms. Green?
Yes.
Mr. Roberts?
Yes.
Mr. Ott?
Aye.
5-0. Ordinance number 2330, an ordinance allowing the commissions and departments of the city of Eureka Springs, Arkansas to pay by electronic funds transfer.
Move to approve ordinance 2330 on its third and final reading.
We need a second out there.
I'll second.
Mr. Roberts seconds. Any discussion? Not hearing any, we'll move forward with a vote, and this is also roll call.
Yes, sir. Ms. Lane?
Yes.
Mr. Roberts?
Yes.
Mr. Ott?
Aye.
Ms. Green?
Yes.
Mr. Meyer?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, that one passes.
Yeah.
Let's see, we are now down to number 3 under new business. Can I get a motion to discuss the fire truck?
Make a motion to discuss the resolution on the purchase of a used fire truck.
Second.
Okay. Mr. Meyer, would you like to begin?
Well, I'd like to say, is this a hurry? Do we need to hurry this one up? Is this an emergency? Do we need to read it 3 times tonight?
No.
This is only a resolution, so it only reads once anyway.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I make a motion that we sign this resolution a number and read it for passage.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Discussion? Counselor, am I able to say anything?
Sure.
Ma'am? Okay, I just wanted to say that I had a discussion with the fire chief prior to the meeting. The vehicle's a 2007, which it's probably referenced in here. I'm not sure if it is or
It
not.
is.
Yeah, it is. It only has approximately 20,000 miles on it,
Wow.
but it has roughly 17,000 plus hours on the pump in the truck that way. So it's low mileage, but it comes out of an area where they're highly maintained and out of Florida, I believe you said it was. I think that's right. And anyway, he thought that it would be a truck with our usage that we have here, that we ought to get 15 years out of it, which sounds like a pretty generous amount of time. But if we got 2/3 of that, I think that would still be pretty good.
Well,
Fire trucks are like any other vehicles. They're expensive. You know, everything's gone up and there's a market for them. Okay, I saw some hands.
She was first, I thought.
Are we retiring one of our other?
Yes, we are. It's
That was
a 72 or something like that. I can't remember.
Okay.
It's old white truck 3 that I drove, years ago.
From 1972?
Horse-drawn? Is
Yeah.
it horse-drawn, Terry?
No, it was a real truck. It was a gas-powered vehicle,
Did
honest
it
to
have
God.
antique license plates?
Yeah. So anyway,
Hey, that is a good price for that truck.
well, I don't know. We just have to, like I told him, I trust them to take their word for it.
Does it have enough chrome?
So, any other discussion?
Oh,
All right. Is this just a voice vote for this?
No, sir. Mr. Roberts?
Yes.
Ms. Green?
yes.
Mr. Meyer?
Yes.
Ms. Lane?
Yes.
Mr. Ott?
Aye.
5-0. The resolution number will be 824, a resolution to waive bidding to purchase a used fire truck. Whereas the Eureka Springs Fire Department is in need of a fire truck, and whereas used fire trucks are in demand and are hard to acquire, and whereas the Manhattan Group LLC, AKA Foster Motor Company, has a 2007 Sutphen S2 Shield Pump Engine fire truck available at a price of $55,000. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Eureka Springs, Arkansas, that Section 1, the City Council does waive any bidding and authorizes the purchase of the fire truck from the Manhattan Group LLC, AKA Foster Motor Company, for the price of $55,000.
Okay.
All right.
We'll go on to number 4, the resolution to approve mid-year budget adjustments.
Make a motion that we approve the mid-year budget adjustments.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion to discuss.
Motion to
What
discuss.
really is. That's what he meant to say.
And
Didn't you?
make a motion that we assign this resolution a number and read it for passage.
Second.
Any discussion? I would just like to say that the Finance Department has worked this over real hard. We discussed this to some degree prior to this meeting in our budget finance workshop. Everything made good sense. It all looked good. And I believe that it is on, the city posts this. I think they do.
It will after it's approved. And
Yeah, it's not yet, but it will be. So if you want to look it over, please feel free to do so. That's all I have to say about it. Any other comments? Okay, we'll take a roll call vote.
Ms. Green?
Yes.
Mr. Ott?
Aye.
Mr. Meyer?
Yes.
Ms. Slane?
Yes.
Mr. Roberts?
Yes.
The resolution number will be 825. A resolution amending the adopted 2022 budgets for the City of Eureka Springs, Arkansas, as a result of the mid-year budget review process. Whereas in the opinion of the City Council, the 2022 fiscal budget should be amended to reflect the following changes in both revenue and expenditure budgetary amounts as set forth hereafter. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Eureka Springs, Arkansas. Section 1, this resolution shall be known as the 2022 mid-year budget resolution for the City of Eureka Springs, Arkansas for the 12-month period beginning January 1, 2022 and ending December 31, 2022. And the attached documents present revisions to estimates for revenues and expenditures for the period. All revenues and appropriations are based on estimated revenues, and all estimates are subject to change during the budgetary period. Section 2, the amounts for revenues and expenditures proposed in this 2022 mid-year amended budget are hereby authorized and appropriated for the purposes set forth the calendar year ending December 31, 2022. The amendments are as follows. On the revenue side, the general fund account original budget was $4,938,970. The amended budget is $5,110,952 for an increase of $171,982. In the street fund, the original budget was for $1,162,663, and the amended budget is $1,259,641 for an increase of $96,978. In lot fee, the original budget for 2022 was $384,556. The amended budget, $385,356 for an increase of $800. In general fund capital, the original budget was $455,505, and the amended budget is $456,505 for an increase of $1,000. In debt service, original budget $1,666,319, and the amended budget $1,866,600 with an increase of $200,281. There were originally no funds assigned for capital projects, and in the amended budget, there is an addition of $1,134,186, reflecting the same as an increase, $1,134,186. In water and sewer, the original budget, $1,897,500, and the amended budget, $1,702,000 for a decrease of $195,500. In transit, the original budget was $1,554,128, and the amended budget is $1,728,310 with an increase, reflecting an increase of $174,182. On the expenditure side, in the general fund, the original budget was $4,924,764, and the amended budget is $5,139,998, reflecting an increase of $215,234. In the street fund, the original budget was $1,050,013, and the amended budget is $1,056,520, reflecting an increase of $6,507. Again, capital project funds were not budgeted as expenditures at the beginning of 2022. Now there is an amended budget of $1,134,186, and so reflecting the same increase, $1,134,186. Water sewer, original budget $1,891,494, and an amended budget of $2,111,766, showing an increase of $220,272. In transit expenditures, the original budgeted amount was $1,201,020, and the amended expenditure amount is $1,128,320, reflecting a decrease of $72,700. So in total, all revenues, all funds, the original budget was $12,188,891, and the amended budget number is for revenues $13,772,800, reflecting an increase in revenues of $1,583,909. Expenditures in all funds, the original estimate was $11,493,926. The amended expenditure amount is $12,997,425, an increase of $1,503,499. So, net of revenues and expenditures. Originally, the estimated reserves were $694,965, and now the estimated reserves at the end of the year show as $775,375.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. That was a long one.
Good job.
I wish to thank the Finance Department for all their hard work on this, and I hope the crystal ball holds true.
Yes.
If not, we'll use a magic 8-ball next year.
We'll shake our money tree.
Okay, next on the agenda is a discussion of the yellow bags.
Motion to discuss?
I'll second.
Ms. Autumn.
Okay. Well, this is something, for 20 years, I've been hearing the biggest complaints I get is on the yellow bags, but the biggest one I'm getting now is the quality. They're not holding up, they're falling apart. So I did talk to Mayor Berry, and he said Dwayne would be down here to explain. So come on up. Mr. Allen, could you kind of give us just a quick history on our yellow bags and why we use them?
Yes, those were, when Carroll County Solid Waste went into existence, of course, with the county judge and all the mayors on the board, state approved it. Recycling was an option, in Eureka Springs, Berryville immediately started a recycle program when trash switched over, and there had to be there has to be incentive to recycle, and the bag, that was the way that was done here, is the one bag, you have the one yellow bag, and then, the cost, so it encourages to recycle as much as you can. So, and then it's, that was kind of figured into the revenue end of financing, and so there was different options at the time, but that's always how we've done it here.
And Mayor Berry, which I was unaware of, at some point in time, did the city council vote to reduce the quality of the bags to save money?
No, I forget how many years ago it was that those bags originally didn't have drawstrings.
Okay.
So they were a little thinner with the drawstrings, which, people enjoy having those drawstrings.
If I could interject here, I think it's okay.
Yeah, please.
That, yes, we did have a discussion on that, and it wasn't to lower the quality of the bag, it was to get a bag that was more biodegradable. And yes, we did approve that.
Okay.
I was on the council when that happened. It was so it would, it would dissolve more quickly in the landfill. So that's why the bag is what it is. I mean, you can't fill it full of rocks and put it in your trash can.
Right.
It's not going to hold up.
Has the quality gone down? I mean, I'm getting just a ton of complaints. I pay commercial rates, so I don't use them. But the people that are talking to me showed them to me, and they're really flimsy. And I understand what they're angry about because they're kind of falling apart. Has that changed, or?
No, they're 1.25 mils, so like you said, you can overload them, but
Okay.
they're still, sort of the quality you would get, at a bag at the grocery store or Glad or something. They're not obviously a top-end bag, but, with the cost of these and like you said, the biodegradable, they have a warning for kids about suffocation on them. And
Well, this is just a curious question. what would happen if we quit using them? Would our rates go up? Where would we, somehow, I know we would have to eat this somewhere. Where would that reflect?
Well, that's, you'd have to either, like you said, give up that revenue, but you would have to put into some place some form of added cost to, or you wouldn't want to give up your recycling program.
Sure, so it would come like on our sewer and trash bill?
Well, you'd have to have some kind of mechanism out there, say a sticker or some kind of tag, something that would allow the solid waste crew not to pick up over, so it would have to be some mechanism besides the bags.
Okay.
And then you would have to.
Ms.
Sure,
Green,
sure.
and let some of the others. have
Sure,
an opportunity.
absolutely.
I've been using the bags for 7 years. The quality slips once in a while, and I know we had a lot of trouble during COVID, even getting the bags
Right.
because of COVID. But, it is an incentive, and it's incentivizing people to recycle. And
Right.
you can't put bottles and cans and sharp objects in these bags, and that's not what it's for. It's to put the recyclables in the recycle thing. And of course, it's just me, and I use one of the small bags every 2 weeks. The drawstring is very helpful. And what are you going to do with the trash if you don't have a bag?
Oh, I don't
Put it in a trash can? Then you're going to have to wash the trash can every week.
Right. I don't disagree. I don't have anything against them. I brought it to the table because of the complaints I'm getting.
Yeah. A lot of people don't understand what the cost of the bag
Right.
is for, and it's cheaper than other trash bags. I don't think you can find a bag that's cheaper.
Anyone else? Mr. Autumn?
I just want to be clear, because I keep hearing recycling. Is this for trash, correct? Or is this just a recycling bag?
No, it is a trash. It is for the trash.
For the trash.
Recycling, yeah. goes in
Instead of
different
getting a
containers.
container that you put your own bag in?
They're two separate things.
Two separate things. Okay, this is more than recycling. It's trash.
May I weigh in?
Please.
Okay.
It's really unusual, but when the recycling program began, it really was to prompt people to not have trash, not generate trash, and to recycle everything they could. So most homes have a recycling bin
Right.
where the glass and the metal go, and we haul our cardboard up to the recycling center.
Right.
And so they really are two separate things. And it's to keep the cost of landfilling down because we're running out of landfill space rapidly.
And that, too, is why the bag was made more biodegradable, so it would break down easier in the landfill, and there would be less product that went in the landfill, and the product that went in would also be the biodegradable type products. Yes, Mr. Ott?
I guess the discussion is on the quality of the yellow trash bags. When did we change suppliers in the last 2 years for these yellow bags?
No, it's always been the same supplier that we've used the last.
Did they change? Because it seems like within the last 2 years, the bags have become less quality than they were 2 years ago. Has our supplier?
Well, we did have some issues, just getting any yellow bags with the pigment in the pandemic, obviously. We actually almost ran out, but we wanted to stick with what we had. Of course, we couldn't go with a different color, but they're basically, the same bag. Now, like you said, sometimes there's a perception that some runs, we usually only purchase these one time a year, and so try to keep them in stock and keep a price, because the price is, of course, escalated like anything else the last couple of years.
Well, it seems like the consumer cost has stayed the same, but it seems like the quality has gone down within the last 2 years.
I disagree.
Well, I don't know. I don't think I'm pulling them any tighter, but it just seems like the quality's gone down some.
May I say something again?
Sure.
And that is that there are people that use these bags that do not recycle. And when they don't, that bag is not going to hold up to the weight. It's
Well,
just not going to do it.
I
But
recycle.
but the purpose is to encourage the recycling.
I understand.
And the quality of the bag, I assure you, is less than what a stronger bag is, so it will break down easier. So there's the trade-offs, and, that's the way it is. If we either accept it or we change it.
Well, my question was, it just seems like that the quality of the bag has gotten down a little bit, like when you use the ties, that the bag tends to maybe rip easier than it did before. I mean, I recycle, but I also use the yellow bags, and it just seems like the bag itself rips apart maybe a little bit more than it used to. And that just may be me Conaning it or something, I don't know, but
You're
it
awfully
just-
strong, Bill.
Yeah.
well, thank you.
Yeah, they've changed, like Terry said, when we put the drawstrings on, and then they changed, but from that point on, they should be the same mill.
Okay.
Well, I personally think it's a great thing. I just had wondered, the people were really complaining if, like Bill said, the quality had gone down and what we could do if the quality had gone down to up it. I mean, I don't want to change it. I think it's a good thing. I think recycling's a great thing.
And we can, before we order next year, we can review this and see, we're going to get some pricing from different manufacturers, and we can look at this and make sure we're getting the quality. But of course, if we change, we'll have to have a setup fee, and there'll be some cost involved in that. And so
we may be able to get more bang for our buck.
well, we want to look at that, and if it looks like the setup fee would help us, could absorb it in the long run, I think it would behoove us to take a look at it next year, yes.
Okay. Any further discussion on this topic at this time? We'll wait and see what happens when they order on the next round.
Thank you for putting your due diligence in on that, on getting us the...
And thank you for the history. I think a lot of people are new in town, and they don't quite understand why we have them, But it is an important thing, I believe.
Yeah, and Eureka Springs had already started, they had a recycling program going, and so we began it, and the county just took it over, so.
That's right.
Thank you, Mr. Allen.
Mr. Allen.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate you coming in tonight.
Okay, next and final item is
FOIA.
FOIAs and computer reset.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to discuss.
I'll second.
Okay,
Mr.
and
Meyer seconded.
I'll start out. In the Lovely County Citizen, I want to thank Scott Loftus for the informative article that he wrote, but it kind of was just stunned, and I do have some questions for our attorney in a minute. I did not think that as city property that would be FOIA-able could be like factory reset, and what a factory reset is destroying the hard drive of a computer. And I am curious as to who would authorize a factory reset, because by talking to the present chair of the CAPC and a past chair, they do not remember ever authorizing any resets. So what these computers can no longer, if you want something, if there's any information on them, it's no longer open to the public. Is that, I mean, I guess I'm just kind of perplexed, and I'm
I'm sorry, I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't know. what computer resets your, I don't-
Okay,
I don't-
what...
Not
what-
everybody reads that page.
Oh, yeah, okay, I'm
Well,
sorry.
and maybe I read something different you did, but I don't know what,
Well, there's, in the article, there is a list from, I guess, it's no secret that the CAPC is being sued, and they have hired, or the lawyers have hired a IT company to go over the computers, and the computers came back damaged, could not image, factory reset, no reason to image because that means the hard drive is gone, and not on one computer, but on multiple computers. And I asked, like I said, I asked the chairs, was this ever by the commission, was this ever approved, or who would be allowed to approve a factory reset? This is government property. Am I correct on that, Mr. Jacoby?
Well, if the servers belong to the CAPC, which is a governmental entity.
Yes.
It appears the allegation is that they were reset without authorization. Is that the allegation?
I would, well, I don't know, I'm not allocating anything, I'm just curious because, to my knowledge, these things are FOIA-able, but now they were no longer able to be FOIA'd or imaged. So is there, I'm asking, who would be, maybe you can't tell me, who would be allowed to factory reset this?
Well, I believe if they were reset, if it was unauthorized, you can look at that however you want to. The record should have been retained.
Okay, but it says in this article that they couldn't image them because it's not there.
Mr. McClung, may I?
yes, Mr. Myers, go ahead.
We were on the commission last year.
Right.
And I remember the finance guy coming to the commission meeting one day and saying that he needed to buy a new computer station for Karen, one of the employees.
Right.
Well, after that, that's when he contacted the guy in Georgia who hosts the website, and he came up, and instead of just installing that, he wiped all the computers for him and installed
But
new
who,
programming. So
did
we have to have a lawyer explain who's liable and why, but I know that as the commission did not vote to authorize that.
I don't even,
We found that out.
yeah, I know, they, in March of 2021, I believe, the gentleman was flown up here, but we, to my knowledge, maybe I missed a meeting, I don't remember authorizing him to be flown up here. Do you?
We did not. Like I said, we did not authorize any of it.
Okay, wait a minute now, we're kind of getting in a
Okay.
discussion between you two, and the rest of us are really not
Okay.
sure what's going on here.
Well, I guess what I was bringing up is, and maybe Mr. Myers kind of gave me some history, but I don't understand
Okay.
who in our city can give permission to reset computers.
Well, I'm not even familiar with what it is, but
I think it's a really important topic to bring up. I think that, factory reset is literally just wiping something completely gone to never see again. So I think, like you're saying, anything in the city needs to be saved and at least needs to be backed up on a hard drive and then wiped. But I think things like this need to be addressed because we, as a community here, are not always at the forefront of technology and what is required to ensure that we're doing the proper steps. And who is in charge or not in charge is who knows at this point, because it sounds like some guy just walked in and just wiped it to set things straight. But I definitely think this is a conversation that all of our departments need to be understanding of, and what this actually is, because this is a delete of information, and now none of this can be FOIA'd, and now none of it is public, and now none of it is here. So I do find it important. There maybe is nothing we can do about it now, but
Well, there isn't, it's gone.
yeah, it's gone.
May I make
I
a
appreciate it.
suggestion that, I would assume, or at least I do assume, that the city would have some directive for backing up all systems, whether it be, the financial, everything at the mayor's office, CAPC, parks, everybody should be required to back up everything on a scheduled basis. And if they're not doing that, if they hadn't done that at all, I mean, that's negligent. That's just absolutely negligent, whether it's the CAPC or whoever.
I think it's more than negligent, but
So I don't know that if those backups really may not even already exist, it's just nobody's saying so. I don't know.
Right.
I mean, that's just, that's conjecture. I
Right.
can't, I don't know any of that.
Well,
But I think the discussion needs to be, when the mayor returns, that somebody put it on the agenda, that something be done in that respect, if it doesn't already exist. Madam Clerk, you want to say something?
No, I'd like the attorney to say something.
Okay.
Well, again, this is not, there's not a lawsuit about this server per se. And without reading what the law says about destroying public records without authorization, which I don't know of, there's a lot of obscure laws out there. It appears something improper has happened. We don't know what it is. It should not have happened. We're all in agreement that records should be kept. Anytime records are destroyed that we can't FOIA them, or someone else can't FOIA them, this is improper. So something happened. We don't know what it is. Apparently, it's being investigated. I suggest that the investigation go on and let them come to some conclusion on it.
but would you think that this would need further discussion at this table? I guess, I don't always, I'm not always articulate, but I guess what, I'm not confused, I'm just curious, at a city level, who would be authorized to reset computers? Would we vote on it as a city council? No one? No one? Okay. All right.
Yes, Mr.
Question
Roberts.
would be, do we have anyone in IT at all currently on our
We
payroll?
don't have the city does not have an IT.
Might be time for us
person.
It's
to
hired
get,
out.
to plan something like that in the future, so we have someone that could have the overall administrative rights to like every computer, so it couldn't even possibly happen without his sign off before. But yeah, I agree. I don't think it should ever be able to delete anything off of
No,
city
I mean,
devices.
and there should always be backups, because you never know when something's going to go down. So that's, that's just, and it has to be done on a regular basis. So, I think that's something that, and I think the city attorney is correct, that we need to see how this shakes out. But it's something that we need to have on our radar and make sure that that there is a directive from the mayor's office, and more than a directive, that it's a requirement that they're done on a scheduled basis. And, yeah, we don't need anything like that.
Indeed.
That's not the way things should operate. It's just not.
No.
Any more discussion on that topic?
No. I'll put it on the agenda.
Okay, so that concludes the agenda as such, and we are now at agenda setting. Does any of the members of council have anything that they would like specifically added to?
I
Next.
would like just a further discussion on the computers at the next meeting, on maybe having someone that would be in charge of it or something.
Well, I don't
If-
know that. I think you need to be more exact in what you say there. I'm not really, that's
Okay.
kind of,
City Hall has a formula in place.
Okay.
So if you could be more specific, are you talking about
Okay, why don't, I don't have to put it on right at this moment. Why don't I get a better,
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's a good
Yeah,
idea, so
'cause
we
I'm-
can,
Yeah, it's complicated.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's kind of
not even
so
title.
I don't
big
even know how
to
to
me.
spell computer, so.
Yeah, well, I was
How to do that.
kind of confused when I read this. I was like, what?
Okay, so you're gonna follow up with that,
Yes.
Mr. Meyer?
I'd like to add, discussing the procedures of the HDC and the Planning Commission, and what is required, who needs to be notified, and when, about changes in town.
Okay. And anyone else? Okay, city council comments, and we'll start with Mr. Ott over there.
I have nothing except to welcome our new addition to the city council, our
That
junior
new
most,
addition is absent.
Right? Not even here.
our junior most city council member. Congratulations on the birth of your son, and it's good to have you with us, and so glad that the birth and the mom and the child are doing well. So God's blessings on all of y'all, and
Thank you.
and glad it all went well. So
Me too. Thank
good job.
Mr. Roberts?
Not much to say. I want to thank everyone that's come out tonight. It's really important when you talk about your neighborhood and what it means to you, and we do listen. I do, and I know that everyone else does, and I know it's going to be something we will eventually have to approve or disapprove according to their decision, so we will keep your comments, and don't stop, just keep talking. It's your voice is really important, and I'm glad you're here. And I also want to welcome Spencer Knight Slane to the table, even though this is his first meeting he's missed. But thank you so much. I hope everyone has a great evening.
Ms. Green?
I'll kind of ditto Nick. I do appreciate our citizens and their feedback. And Ms. Slane, it sounds like you have a very healthy, happy baby. Congratulations. And I'm glad you're doing well. So
Right.
I wish you much, much happiness. You're going to really enjoy this.
Thank you.
Autumn?
New mother, lots of adventure coming. It's just really got me thinking about this town and everything that makes it work. And I just really hope this next few years we can come together with all of our departments and really get a little more organized and, make it a better future for our little ones. Thank you, guys.
Mr. Meyer?
I came to the City Hall today to do a little research on what these folks came to talk to us about, and I didn't know about the subject that was coming up tomorrow at the Planning Commission. I didn't hear about that at the little HDC office, so I'm kind of a little bit confused. Now, I do know that planning can't just approve something like right then. They have to have a hearing, and they have to have, and so forth. But I do know that there was something approved on Council Street that did not have the sign posted, that people did not get, one person got a registered letter, and, so there's some disagreement, there's some people that are upset about that, and that's why I added that to the agenda for next meeting. I feel cheated.
Okay. So that's the council's comments, and for the mayor's position tonight, the comments are as follows. The week of September 17th to the 23rd is Constitution Week, and this is an annual thing, and the Daughters of the American Revolution, the Abershon chapter, will commemorate the signing of the U.S. Constitution by ringing the bell in Basin Park at 1 p.m. on Saturday, 9/17. So that'll be this coming Saturday. The signing of the U.S. Constitution happened at 1 p.m. 235 years ago on September 17, 1787. Thank you to the DAR for this special commemoration during Constitution Week. And this weekend coming up, we will have a whole lot of Jeeps returning to Eureka Springs for the Jeep Jam held at Passion Playgrounds. The Jeep Jam Parade will be Saturday, 9/17/22, starting at 2 p.m., coming through the Upper Loop and down Spring. So come out and enjoy that. I also want to thank Ron for the great job at Basin Park this last Friday night and the Cape Brothers. That was a successful evening, huge crowd, a lot of fun. Enjoyed the heck out of it. And also, the city would like to formally welcome the newest citizen, Spencer, too. So that's great. We're happy for the family. Good for you. Other than that, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Say it.
All in favor?
Aye.
That's it.